By the time of this recording, Street Fighter 6 has been out for around about 2 weeks now. However, there are still really annoying moves that are incredibly hard to deal with. Get me out! In today's video, I want to give you guys my tips and tricks on how to beat the top 5 most annoying moves in the game. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Just a quick disclaimer before we begin, most of these tips will be on Cammy since she is my main character, but a lot of what I'm saying here can be used with pretty much anyone in the game, so it isn't limited to exclusively Cammy. Okay, let's start with move number 1, which is going to be Honda's butt slam. This move has pretty much been haunting my dreams and nightmares for the past couple of days, and this is the move that I've pretty much labbed the most against because I just needed to find the solution. I tried anti-airing it regularly, so trying to actually like punish it like this. As you can see, sometimes you just trade or just get hit straight up. So this wasn't actually the proper solution. Also, like 99% of the time when I did play against Hondas, I just got hit right away. This solution by itself, or just trying to anti-air it, doesn't really work. For Cammy as well, using her regular anti-air, as you can see, doesn't work. I'm gonna use her regular DP as well, as you can see. No luck. This will not hit no matter which version I do, even if I do the light version, medium version. So what can you actually do against this monstrosity of a move? So there are 3 practical solutions. Number 1, this is for air throw characters only. If you don't have a character with an air throw, then just worry about the next 2 tips. But essentially what you can do with either Cammy, Guile, Jury, pretty much anybody who has an air throw in the game, is wait for them and look at the air, pretty much whatever you're fighting against a Honda, and then as soon as you see them in the air, you can air throw them. It is a full punish and it does 20%. 20% is actually really good. Usually for anti-airs, it's more like in the 1000 range, so 1200, 1400. This actually punishes pretty hard. And another good thing about this is you have 22 frames of advantage, so you can actually drive rush in and press a button here if you want to, and then contest with him, or you can dash in with Cammy, which is another good one. Whenever you basically see this, jumping to the air throwing, and you can get in, do whatever you want, and you can pretty much rinse and repeat this as much as you want. You just got to be careful to do it on the right time, because if you're doing it too late, as you can see, even though I'm trying to air throw it, I'm doing it late. Right here worked, sorry, gotta do it a bit later. There you go. You see, I just get hit. So you have to time it correctly. So you need to look out for him being actually in the air. The second he stomps down, it's too late. You have to have him in this position right here, where he's up top. As you can see, he's up top and he's not plummeting down yet, because if you do that and you jump up, you can air throw. Now we go to solution number 2, which is the one I mentioned earlier, which is actually using an anti-air. So right here, you would also just wait for that to happen, and then you would press the button pretty much when he falls down. So with this, I like to use Cammy's back heavy kick. You gotta see what works for your character. That is like the best anti-air for it right there. The back heavy kick works the best. And the good thing about back heavy kick is I actually can get a level 3 as well on top of it. So I can do something like this. So I can punish him really hard for that in particular. It actually is a better punish than if I were to just, you know, just use the air throw. It is like literally 2000 more damage. So this can be a round defining anti-air. So it's still an option that I use sometimes. It still, as I said before, isn't the best. It does have some inconsistencies, since you might be trading with him or anything of the like. But if you do have health and you trade with him, it might actually be worth it just to win the round. The third solution, and actually the most unique, is to use a drive rush. So when you see Honda right here doing the butt slam, if you drive rush at him, drive rush, stop with a jab, and then you can punish him afterwards. So that is going to cost you a bar, but if you are a character and that doesn't have either a good anti-air or an air throw, this is actually like your smartest solution. So you drive rush through it, press a jab, and then you can do whatever you want afterwards. So if I were to like try to actually full punish this, I can do something like that. Right, like just something simple. I could do crouching medium into crouching medium, and then I would still get a good result. I would still be an Oki right here, so I could like go up and do whatever I wanted. So this is basically the easiest way to stop a butt slam. The last solution would be the perfect parry. This is like pretty much your least reward, but I guess if you really don't have any tools at your disposal at all, and this is like your last saving grace, then you have to perfect parry. That's pretty much it. Let's go over Honda's second move. So this is still in the category 1 because they're basically the same level of stupid. It is Doskoi, which is the Sumo headbutt. This one. Doskoi, you've heard this a million times. It probably annoyed the living shit out of you. So what can you actually do? Now, one of the things you can do is, again, you can air throw this actually. I'm gonna put in a clip right here of Jury air throwing this, so you can see like Jury actually manages to do it pretty consistent. Air throw is pretty much the same for every character, but I'm just going to show you this for what it's worth. See? As you can see right here, if you are in the air during the moment where he does it, you can air throw him. You can also neutral jump. That's like another good solution, neutral jump, and then try to deal with it through some other way. But air throw is a possibility. So whenever you jump at them and they try to doskoi you, like with either like a light doskoi or a medium, which you like to do a lot, you can actually air for them before it even happens. There you go, see? So you can actually stop it. It isn't the easiest thing in the world, but it is a solution, especially if you know where they're going to do it. Just jump back, air throw. Worst case scenario, they go like beneath you, right? And then they just go through and you're fine. So the risk on this actually isn't too high, especially since like you can mostly do this when you're full screen. You can like jump at them and then boom, right? Or you can go backwards and do the air throw. So that is one solution. The other one, honestly, like the safest one is just to literally either deal with the situation at hand. So you can do afterwards, just do a strike throw scenario where you either like press a button or you throw them for it, right? You can get a counter hit. The other one is, again, perfect parry is your best friend. Like if you're ever struggling with the move in itself, right here, boom, boom, get whatever punish you want, right? So perfect parry is a possibility here to deal with it. Yeah, no, air throw usually is your best bet. Another good thing about air throw right here that I would like to mention is if you jump in the air, right? And they don't do Dosko, but they do butt slam, you can still get the throw, right? Like if you think about it, you can still get like one for either or. So if you think they're going to do either butt slam or Doskoi, there you go. These are your solutions to it. Now we're going to go over Blanca, and in specific, Blanca's ball. Yeah, this move is really annoying, huh? But what can you do against this move in particular? Well, again, 3 solutions. One of them is Cammy specific, one of them is Air Force specific, and one of them is universal. So let's get into it. Number 1, this is Cammy specific. So if you're a Cammy main, pay close attention. If Blanca does his funny little ball, say goodbye to Blanca. This is incredibly broken in this matchup. It's so good. It's so fucking good. Like, you have no idea how good this is in this matchup. Essentially, if you're up by a round and you have level 3, Blanca fights with 6,000 HP. Because if he Blanca balls once, he loses 4k. If you have CA, he loses 4,500. So he plays with reduced amounts of health in one of the rounds, guaranteed. Or he cannot Blanca ball at all, which also hurts him pretty drastically. So it's either he sacrifices to health, or he sacrifices not being able to play neutral the way he wants to play. Level 3, because it's a full screen, works the best. I am not 100% sure if it works on JP, because JP also has a full screen super. So I would try that one out yourself if you're a JP main. But again, as I said, this is basically on anywhere in the screen. Like, look, I can go as far away as I want, and I can just do it because zoom, and I'll hit you. That's solution number 1. Solution number 2, actually, similar to Mr. Doskoi, is to just air throw it. You have the possibility of air throwing it, just like that. So again, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to punish it and you're in the air right here and you can't do anything, like, oh, it's coming, if you react to it properly, you can air throw it. See, right there, and you can deal with the character like so. So you can jump back and then do whatever you want. Boom. And then again, you try to get an advantage through it. Number 3 is also just simply, again, perfect parry is the best friend. This perfect parry is actually a bit different than Mr. Doskoi because you need to still drive rush with it. So let's say I hit it right here perfectly. I'm still gonna have to drive rush in order to get to him. Because if I just perfect parry like so, see, can't do anything. So you need to have it buffered where it's like you do this in the immediate drive rush. So right here, you can also just dash with Cammy, but most characters can't. So right here, you can counter punish it, and then you can get an advantage. So these are the 3 solutions I have. Again, air throw characters are winning with this one. Air throws actually seem really good against the annoying characters in this game, huh? Let's move on to character number 3. Zangief is next on the list. And why is Zangief here? There are probably some characters that might be a bit more annoying than Zangief, but I will show you something that is really annoying for me. I think it is the most annoying move in the game, actually. It is Zangief's level 3. This move. And you want to know why it's annoying? When I jump, as you can see, I was holding up this entire time. I cannot avoid it. This move cannot be avoided. You need to jump beforehand as the solution, which is ridiculous. You need to, like, you cannot just press a button, right? So like, for example, if you press a button here, you would still be able to do like something, right? Because you could like jump out or whatever. No, you have to, you can't even walk back. You just have to literally jump it before it's even out. And then you can full punish, because the move itself is pretty negative, but it's still ridiculous, right? You can like level 3 right here to get like whatever punish you want. Like, this is the best level 3 super in the game. It is by a landslide. It's not even close. Like, that move is ridiculously good, and it's really, really good, especially on defense, because look at how much damage this shit does. This is not even with CA. With CA, this is even more, right? But I just want to show you this. 4,800 damage. You guys want to see the CA version? I'll show you the CA version. I just wanted you to feel my pain for a little bit, okay? Is that chill? I just want you guys to feel what I have to feel playing against this character with no projectile, nothing. 5,300 damage. Sometimes I'm literally fighting with 4,700 health as my maximum that I can spend in this matchup without just dying for it. Isn't that phenomenal? Usually the best solution is whenever you're in pressure or something and you think they're going to do it, just jump. Just jump beforehand, just make sure. Because you can see you have a year and a half to punish this. Like, actually a year and a half. Let's see how negative this is. -79. So you can literally taunt at him in the meantime and do what you want, you know? And that is the same for pretty much any command group in the game. This also goes for Manon. So if you're starting against Manon, whenever she throws you and she tries to pressure you, just jump. We're like right here, if they pressure you and then they do it, so 1, 2, 3, and then they would do the command grab, you can just jump and then punish them for it, essentially. That's like the main way of dealing with it. Another thing right here is I would heavily suggest you to learn your punish counter from this one, because obviously this is like -1,000. So you can actually just go cuckoo crazy, you know? You can pretty much do whatever you want here. So you can do whatever, man. You can just fully send it, you know? And do like 4,000 damage. So it actually is pretty rewarding and in your favor to punish these things and be aware of them. This is basically how you deal with Zangief's level 3 and command grabs as a whole. Very, very annoying stuff. Now we're gonna go over Muscle Mommy, also known as Marissa. Marissa has 2 really annoying moves that you have to deal with. One of them is her Gladius, which is this move that charges. Can be used really, really well. As you can see, if I press like any button during the charging time, I just get hit. If I try to DI, I get fucked. So like this move by itself is really annoying. So what can you actually do against it? There are 2 things you can do against Marissa's charge, which is A, you press a button afterwards to whiff punish it. For Cammy, it's the heavy punch. So any move that is like reaching towards it is really good. So like you would position yourself like around here, like pretty far away, and then you can full punish it with like your best punish counter usually. Another solution is to just press a low, even during the charging time, as you can see. Boom, you can go through it, you can counter hit it. So in pressure right here, if you think they're going to charge it, so they're going to do like 1, 2, right? 1 button, 2 buttons, and then they're going to do this. If you see the charge, you can react to it and then press just any low. I personally would always suggest using crouching medium kick, because crouching medium kicks can usually be comboed for every character. If that isn't the case for you, I'm sorry, then just use like whatever is best for you. Sweep can also work, and you will always get a counter hit for it essentially. So boom. See, so you have more frame data, so that's like the easiest way to deal with it. So if they don't charge it, you just gotta hold it, and I would always suggest you to delay the move a little bit. If, for example, you do the string, which is like 1, 2, and then Gladius, what you would do is you would just hold down, wait a tiny bit, and then press it, because if they don't charge it, then you're still blocking, so it's like an option select, right? Number 1, again, as I said, whiff punish is your best friend right here, and you can whiff punish pretty hard whenever they're like in this distance, and this is probably going to happen a lot for Marissa's at like a lower level. The higher you go, the less likely it's going to happen that they're actually going to miss this, but if it does happen, here's a solution to it. The other one is her jumping motion. This move crushes lows, really, really annoying to deal with, because right here, as you can see, let's say you're trying to stop Gladius, right, and then you just get fucked. You can't stop this at all. You can't stop it with Cammy's sweep. That is a possibility on the startup, but as you can see, if I'm even like a little bit late here, not possible. You can't stop it with pretty much anything though. So this move by itself isn't even that annoying. You can stop it by anything. My personal favorite is just using a light punch, because if I'm playing neutral here and I see it, I can just light punch, get a spiral arrow, and then I can get like whatever I want afterwards, right? I personally like going for hooligan here actually, but you can pretty much choose whatever works for your character as like a general air conversion. You can also just use an anti-air, right? Like you can just anti-air it regularly, just like with everything. If your character does have an anti-air, like a DP anti-air, I mean. Another way to deal with it is actually to air throw it as well. Air throw is another good solution if you do see it. Pretty rare that you're ever going to react to it like that, but if you do want to, let's say for example right here, if you do want to jump out because of like any mix-up and you see her in the air, you can still do it pretty generously with the timing. And if not, you can still punish it like so. So you can jump over and then full punish, right? So you do have those options. There's actually a bunch of options to deal with this move in particular. I know a lot of people have been struggling with it, but this one is probably the most exploitable move out of all the things I'm going to show you today. Okay, let's go over the last character, which is how to deal with Guile, or fireball spams in general in this game. Right here we have Guile, trying to obviously push himself away from you, and just pressing fireball after fireball. So what can you actually do against this? Well, if you're Cammy, there's a bunch of solutions. So I'm gonna show you the Cammy only solution, and I'll show you the general solutions. So with Cammy, you actually have 3 really good ways to get through these. Number 1, level 3, your best friend. Literally punish counters them, they die. If you know they're gonna do it, they're just gonna explode. Spin Knuckle's another one. You just zoom through it, get a full punish counter. So, as you can see right here, you get this in the Oki right away. Another one is to use dive kick. So you would jump, dive kick, boom, boom, get your punish counter. And another one would also be to use Hooligan. Hooligan in very different directions. I personally prefer using the P version, actually. Why? Because P can actually bait anything else. So if, for example, he would try to do something stupid right here, like instead of doing the fireball, he would do his DP that goes upwards. You can actually bait it right here as well if you go like right over it. So boom, you can go over that. You don't even need to do anything here. These are the Cammy specific solutions. Cammy literally shits on anything that throws a fireball, to be honest. Like, she just does really well against fireball characters because she just gets access to all of her tools, gets in you right away, punish counters you, puts you in the corner. Because as you can see right here, like, look where Guile's position, right? He has the position far away. And then I do this, and look at that. Wow, we're in the corner. But let's say you're a normal character. Let's say you're a Ken player. Let's say you're a Kimberly player. How do you actually deal with this? There are 3 main core solutions that you should be doing. Number 1, jump ins. Now, this is the riskiest approach, obviously, since you can get punished, but also the most rewarding. So what you would do is you would jump before the projectile even comes out, and then try to get in. Then you can punish counter. So you have to position yourself somewhere where you would be close enough to punish counter. Another one, if you want to make a slower approach, is to just simply parry them, right? If you manage to perfect parry, as you can see, in comparison to regular block, I don't get pushed back. It's like right here, if I try to like ask myself forward, I get pushed back forward more and more and more. And it would also cost me drive gauge. But if I perfect parry it, I can actually get in right here. Drive rush is also another possibility here that you can do. So those are the best solutions. Another one is if you are in burnout. So this is when you're like in a dire situation. You have to neutral jump them, so you do not get hit by the chip damage or by the drive gauge. Obviously, don't use this all the time, but just jumping over them is basically a no risk scenario, especially full screen. And you can also slowly go towards them. So if, for example, you'd be full screen, I can jump like this and I'll be fine. And then I can jump regular, and then at some point I will perfect parry it and then get in. So there are ways to actually get in pretty easily with every character. It just takes time and practice. But yeah, no, those are my general solutions. Jumping over them in general is good. You just cannot jump forward too much because you will get punished eventually. So you actually have to condition the Guile player or any other fireball player to just stop doing that and stop looking for the air and start looking for the ground. So they will start to actually not look for a fireball scenario anymore. They'll try to play footsies with you, try to play neutral. Those are the general solutions, how to deal with fireball characters as a whole. It is just a slow game you have to progress towards. It is not something that will just happen overnight. You will just have to like literally slowly but surely get towards them until you're in the corner, and then they're at their worst position anyway, which is in your favor. Those are the best ways to deal with fireball spams as a whole. Guile is a very extreme example, just like JP. That is like their way of playing. They spam fireballs the most out of every character in the cast. Cammy has it pretty easy because she's anti-fireball, the character. She literally is the projectile. Like, look at this. This is literally me being the projectile right here. Boom, I'm there. You know, so this is definitely something I personally have to worry about, but I know a lot of characters in the cast do, especially if you're a weaker character, like if you're somebody that doesn't really like zoners, like Jamie, for example, is not really that great against zoners. That's pretty much it for how to deal with the 5 most annoying things in this game. I made it actually a little bit more. I made it like per character a little bit here and there, but I hope you enjoyed it. If there are any more questions or any more annoying moves you would like to have advice on, please let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want a more personalized experience, I do actually offer coaching on Metafy, so please go ahead and check out the first thing in the description if you want any direct help with either the fundamentals, getting me at the game, anything like that, yada yada. And I'll be talking to you soon. Have a good one. Bye.